depression is a mood disorder.
Depression is a mood disorder characterized by lowering of a person's mood and loss of interest in activities, causing significant impairment in daily lives. Research has proven that in Africa, about 9% of 322 million people suffer from depression. Depression manifests differently amongst persons. There is no one person or experience to explain the condition. Silence makes it unbearable. It's like you're drowning every day and it only gets worse in due course. Your imagination cannot beat the pain untold. The gut-wrenching feeling of loneliness consumes you, and all of a sudden, you're not the you know.
Everything just annoys you. You want to be left alone.
It's when you feel like a prisoner in your own mind. You try to associate with people and all that, but you can't.
The feeling of hopelessness on a regular basis.
It feels like you've been locked up in a room where there are no lights, there are no windows. You can't think, you can't feel, and you can't also see anyone to call out for help.
Keep losing yourself slowly. You are sad, confused, angry, and it all seems like a never-ending cycle.
Cry, no, but one thing I know I really do when I'm depressed is I listen to music a lot. I write. I just stay in my own lane, usually.
I don't cry or vent. I do shut people off.
I try not to speak with people so that I will not vent my anger on them.
It looks like and feels like the helplessness of its victims cannot be solved. They live in their own world far from the reach of everyone. But health professionals like psychologists think otherwise. There is help to put this mental illness at bay and release victims of this unfortunate situation.
Yeah, depression is definitely a mental health problem. At least we do know from the manual that clinical psychologists and psychiatrists use for diagnosing people with mental health problems. But what it does also means that it impacts on the brain of people. Okay, so then if it impacts on their brain, then we can say that we are talking about something mental, so then the challenges that people have has to do with their emotions and also their brain. That's why we say it's a mental health problem.
Me not having money to do certain things I wanted to do, and also a friend letting me down, someone I really trusted.
After an exam or a test and I don't perform, I think I get depressed with that one. And when I see that most of my friends whom I went to high school or junior high school with are making it and I'm still here doing nothing, I get depressed when I see that one too.
As a student, there are a lot of things that cause my depression. But then, the major one that I can talk about is maybe you as a student preparing for exams. Now you can prepare for exams with an expected grade. But here is the case, the results will come and then the grade wouldn't be as you expected. You will feel depressed. You will wonder. You may even feel angry with the lecturer for no reason. You may not know where the problem is actually coming from, but you will just be there, you will be angry, you will not even try. Sometimes it affects us in such a way that we don't even feel like eating.
Failure. The fact that you think you would fail, you want to make mommy and daddy proud. The fact that you waste all your time on other extracurricular activities rather than the main purpose that you came to school, that is to study. So when exams is approaching and all these things are coming in together and you don't get your things together, the whole thing just sets in. The fear of failure can get me depressed.
I think depression has made me really reserved in my head most of the time. I think that's also made me realize certain aspects of me that I never knew, like me being able to write the things I feel.
It has affected my academics, yeah, because I lose concentration and I can't learn. I also cut myself from my friends. Socially, I cut myself from people. I don't want people around me. I just want to be alone and then just be in the moment.
Academically, as I said, sometimes you can study for exams with an expected grade and you wouldn't get it. So normally, when it's time for exams like that, when I am preparing as a student, due to some situations that I've gone through before, it instills a kind of fear in me, as in, this thing, will it happen the way it happened the other time? Am I going to get what I'm expecting this time around? So it has really affected me in so many ways. But when it comes to preparation of exams, I get that feeling of fear.
Psychologically, I can say I haven't been able to regulate myself again as an individual that I am also a student. Socially, I am having trust issues with people because I've been betrayed by loved ones. And academically, sometimes you can be reading a book or doing your normal day lifestyle of academic work and a whole bunch of stories or event that has happened that you were depressed just setting, and there is this feeling of leaving it, letting it go, sleeping, just to let go of all the hurt and the sadness around you.
There are many factors that can cause depression among students. The first one will be relationship problems. So students come to you and tell you that I broke up with my partner. That is definitely an issue that will make them become extremely sad. Talk about financial problems. Quite often students, struggle with money and all of that, and that can also make them depressed. Getting poor scores in their test or in their exam is also one thing that can make them depressed, given the fact that students do want to do well in their exams and also in their tests, get a better GPA, and also students will come to you and report that they do lose their relatives, and loss of relatives is something that would definitely make them extremely sad, and that can also lead to depression.
Listen to music more often, writing, so that I can really know what's going on in my body or in my head.
When I'm depressed, I go into my room, watch movies till I'm okay, or I channel my emotions into my other passions.
I would say that self-control or coping. There are so many things that I do normally when I feel depressed. Okay, one thing that I usually do is to have enough quality sleep. So when I feel depressed like this as a student, whether I'm studying or doing something, in fact, I will stop whatever I'm doing and then sleep enough.
Sometimes I try to seek for guidance and counseling, and mostly I try to read books and listen to songs a lot, motivational songs from my favorite personalities.
The laughter through the tears through the laughter, the locked pain all these years that we don't want to bring back. The word you say to someone can either bring them joy or cause them pain.
When someone is going through depression, for example, a student, the biggest thing for us is, there's a time that we need to show them love and not to be overly critical, negative critique, telling them, for example, if someone is going through depression because they are getting very bad scores in the university, and then you tell them that you are not good, you are not a good student, such kind of comment would definitely make them even more depressed. So when people are going through depression, it's the time for us to rather encourage them, cheer them on, and then show them as much love as we can. For example, a student who has been diagnosed with a health condition and therefore going through depression, there's a time that we even need to be more sociable